too. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Mike Catalana, along with Dan Fetes. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all your support. We're up here for the rookie minicamp. So it's just the rookies, the free agents that they signed, and also the guys trying out, which is really something to see. But at the same time, look, our eyes are on the number 1 pick. What'd you think, Shakir, Elam, out there on the field today?
Well, we can break down a lot of stuff coming up later, right? We can talk about Ken Dorsey's play calling in the 7-on-7 and everything that we got to see. But for me, like we said, it was Elam, and he was longer and bigger than I expected. He does have that size already as an NFL caliber corner that I think will really stand out alongside Trey White, which is what I think they want long term.
It's interesting that no one's going to say anything about the guy being a starter, right? Sean McDermott's always saying he's right. The guy's got to earn his spot, and it sort of adds a level of pressure. But I got to tell you, for a team this good, to have a guy walk in as a rookie and I think be expected to start is both confidence in him, at least what they think they see, but also a little bit of pressure on this guy to prove he's worthy of the number 1 pick.
And he's constantly getting the coaching. That was one thing. We got to be pretty close to him, and I could hear him after every drill. The coach is giving a little feedback. Push through this, fire through that. Like, we're not coaches. We're not going to break down all 22 on his footwork, but you could already tell the coachability. And that was something that Khalil Shakir said as well, as that's the difference between these guys in college and coming to the pro level.
I absolutely noticed it one time with Elam. Now, it was a simple drill where they backpedal a little bit, they take off to the corner, they throw the ball up, and they catch it for an interception. And he caught it sort of reaching this way. And what's the first thing coach said to him? Square up.
And almost box out so that they can't come through it. And again, it's probably something that he doesn't really think about all that much because he's more talented and just physically better than players at college.
Yeah, and those little things. Chad Hall, excellent offensive wide receivers coach, right away. And that's the thing Shakir said. On him right away. Things they used to just get by with by that physical ability. But now you're going against NFL players, so you start to ingrain those little things. Since I jumped ahead to the 5th round, I got to tell you, he's an impressive young guy. He's very confident, but in the right way. Military family, said that's where his leadership comes from. But you watch him run. He's number 10 out here, and he's very smooth, gets in and out of his cuts well. Now, again, it's out here in a practice with no defense, that type of thing. But he does certainly look the part initially.
Mature. I think he came across very mature. We were waiting for him. He did a video with the Bills, their social media team, and we were waiting for him. And we were going to interview him, and they go, oh, he's going to go to the podium. A lot of people want to talk to him. So as we're walking in, he just introduces himself. We didn't say, like, hey, how are you? He goes, hi, I want to introduce myself. Like, I'm Khalil. It's like, yeah, we know. Like, why do you care? I just thought that was a nice touch. And again, that's maybe something that you know, overblown, and a lot of these guys were making a good impression. It seemed very genuine. He talked about his press conference, which we'll post on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. He seems like a very genuine, happy-go-lucky, mature young man.
Couple of things. It's all rookies now, and he seems to be, doing that fine with the rookies, but he's looking forward to the vets. He was a freshman at Boise when Josh was a senior. He's like, the whole game plan was to stop Josh Allen, so he's thrilled to be his teammate. But when I asked him about we talked about the veteran wide receivers coming in, and he's like, the guys have been good. He's like, but come on, I'm not afraid to be like a fan. I mean, it's Stephon Diggs.
It's amazing. I love the honest answers when you get them, especially when they haven't been groomed yet on how to not answer questions in a vague way. That was just great. He's like, I'm not too cool to admit, like, I'm a big fan of Stephon Diggs, and that's now his teammate.
Yeah, let's go back to defense. Terrell Bernard is a guy, again, physically, I will say this, your initial impression, you think linebacker looks a little bit smaller. Would you agree?
That was my 2 big takeaways. Obviously, I thought Shakir was bigger than I expected. I thought Bernard was smaller than I expected.
Yeah, again, we see the heights and weights. We've seen him in other places, but now you're seeing him on the field, albeit with just other rookies and free agents. But at the same time, you sort of get a feel of what we've seen through the years as a player. Again, got a chance to talk to him. Very excited. He admitted today, I was nervous. This is all different. The things that they used to do in college, secondhand. You just go out and you do it.
And you're just better. You're just more physically gifted at a lot of times. And I think that was what Bernard was kind of getting across, was like, you could just rely on raw talent. You could rely on your raw instincts. And it's so much, like I said, the way that they were coaching, just even steps, every little thing, that's what they're trying to get through here.
Yeah, no question about it. And if you watch these drills, and we've seen some of them where it's after nearly every one, there's a note. And sometimes, certainly, it's encouragement. At times, it's like, great play.
Yeah.
Other times, it's like, keep your hips wider, like constantly on them in that way. But that's the way NFL coaches coach. All these guys have physical talent.
Yep.
That little bit of technique makes a huge difference for them. The running back, I know, again, there's no defense, but he really shows flashes.
Yeah, I'm not going to get all worked up over runs, but he did have a burst, and I think that was the first thing that stood out. He did drop a pass. I know there'll be video on Twitter about a dropped pass. Relax, it's a drop pass. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. But again, I think he did provide a little bit of that juice that I think we want.
So they don't miss Daboll at all. Dorsey called a great
Phenomenal.
Great
I thought
rookie
the offensive,
minicamp.
thought the offensive line was phenomenal, and the quarterback, Alex something, he was sharp. He had a nice ball to a tight end.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's great. Guys are out here. I mean, they get to throw the ball with other players.
I thought it was great. Sean McDermott talked before we actually went out to practice.
Yeah.
And he kind of said one of the main goals was just to get out of this healthy. He said, like, the last thing they need is for a rookie to pull a hamstring,
Yeah.
to do something here. And then all of a sudden, all summer, they're trying to rehab instead of actually getting up to speed for when training camp to hit the ground running. He goes, nobody's going to make the team based off this practice.
Yeah.
And he goes, let's walk before we crawl, and let's take it step by step. I thought for Sean McDermott, who, again, is a big picture guy and a guy that, take every day as so important, and every day you got to get better. It was kind of interesting. He laughed at some of the questions, like, let's temper expectations.
Yeah.
Let's just get through this with everybody healthy and walking out fine.
Okay. Well, because it was brought up so fast in the news conference. By the way, the whole Sean McDermott news conference with captions is available right here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Ask quickly about the punt god. And he told us, Matt Araiza. Rise. So think of Rise as the kicker. People think he hits the ball. I don't know why. He doesn't boom the ball high, right? That's not the way he
That's
kicks
the
it.
knock on him. That's why he was the third punter selected and not the first. He's got the leg, but line drives is a concern that you need hang time in the NFL for your coverage team to get down there. That's a big thing. That's why they always tracked it. That's why Joe Biscaglia of The Athletic, he's a big punt-to-palooza guy. He's tracking hang time. That's a big thing. That's something that he's got to work on.
Yeah, and he's got to work on holding it. He says 50% of the job. And I was thinking to myself, if it's 50% of the job and you haven't done it, I asked him, like, is there a way to practice anything when you're not actually on the practice field? And he said, not really. I don't know. Can your brother-in-law snap the ball to you? Like, I don't know. But he did say he practices catching the snap one-handed.
One-handed.
Yeah.
So that was impressive.
Because I think it's basically to get that other hand off of it, and that's the way you're going to do it. But he's got a lot to learn, and that's a huge part of it. And again, on a team that doesn't punt it much, but does kick a lot of extra points and field goals, he better be good at that, because I saw people say, look, I hope for his sake everything goes great, but it's a 6th-round pick, that there's no guarantees that he's the punter.
Not at all. I know there's a lot of hype around him and all of those things, but we've heard Brandon Beane say that Matt Hawk is an elite holder. He acknowledges the fact.
It made me laugh. I'm sorry.
It was great.
It's elite holder.
Well,
it cracks me up.
Well, it's almost like I'll take the baseball analogy in this. There are catchers that may not be great hitters, but they're great at framing and blocking the ball and throwing out runners. That's the other phase of sports. You got to play both sides. Kind of. For catchers, you hit or you field. So I think this is a big one. And for Araiza, I think it may be actually 60-40. If he can boom 1 out of every 4 50 yards and flip the field, that's great. But he's got to hold 10 out of 10 perfectly for Tyler Bass, because that's the guy they need.
Yeah. So it gives us a competition to talk about.
The sun went away.
By the way, elite holders, I've joked before that the Bills had some offensive linemen that were elite holders. But I think that's a different kind of holding.
Different kind.
Yeah. All right. Sean McDermott, quick update. Again, the whole interview's there. Trey White, on schedule. First one in, last one out. The same kind of thing they say all the time. I don't think they want to put additional pressure on Trey, but he looks good. And McDermott pretty excited about the primetime games.
Yeah, he can't even pump gas in
That's what
peace.
he said.
Everybody's coming up to him. He's pumping his gas, and everybody's all excited. So he also added that it's great for hats and T-shirts. I don't really know what having primetime games does for hats.
Well, I guess maybe it's just the idea that the team's more popular and they sell more hats and T-shirts. Come on, give him a break. He backed off the normal Sean answers.
He had a couple. He was Laughed a
He
couple
was
times.
joking. He was joking at some
Watch the video.
odd questions that were going on, but that happens all the time. All right, we're going to let you go. We have our latest about the schedule that's up there, our latest video about that, and you're going to see all these interviews from today as the rookie camp
We've had one
continues.
cloud over us for like the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them.
I got to tell you, we stood right in this spot for the New England game, the bad New England game. Now look at this.
Look at this.
This is nice.
Look at us.
Yeah, we can do that. All right. For Dan Fetes, I'm Mike Catalana, and for Jenna Cottrell, who didn't get the chance to come up here today, but don't worry, she'll be back up here soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you the next time on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.